think that's the fastest I've ever done the team announcements because you guys know I just get excited and I love to blab and yap. But let me make sure really quick. All right, 1 second. Dom, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, Dom. So I'm really, really excited that you're here with us.
I'm excited to be here. I'm
So
nervous. My palms are
thank,
sweating.
yeah, don't, I mean, I don't know why you'd be nervous. You're the OG, but I have to
Oh,
tell you a funny story because this call is about to get even more interesting. Okay.
uh,
So I was pumped up. I'm getting ready. We're having dinner, and I'm like, I gotta go prepare for the call because I'm weird, and I like get in here like 15 minutes early, make sure my notes, everything. And someone was like, "Hey, who's on your call?" And I'm like, "It's Dom," and he was like, me and Dom, we're like salt and pepper." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, Dom's like an OG, like that's my guy. What if we did a guest host?" And I'm like, how are we going to do a guest host? I already have a guest speaker and like I'm the host. And he's like, yeah, but me and Dom, we're salt and pepper. So as of 10 minutes ago, guys, Sean Mike has asked if he could get on this call because
let's
he's
go.
so excited about Dom and he would like to take over and do the hosting because you guys are so tight. You guys are OGs and we love it. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much for your time. Sean, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, hear me?
I can hear you. I'm going to let you take over and thank you so much for getting on. I think this is going to be badass and we're just really excited about it.
I got no doubt about it. 100% appreciate you. Dom,
What's up, baby?
what's up with you, dude?
Man, everything, bro. I'm excited to be here. Thank you,
I,
Marissa, for setting this up. All right. I love what you guys are doing with your team. I love being on your live dials the past 2 weeks. And this year is going to be a lot of fun. I know that. And so that's how I'm doing.
well, I like that. Remember, hey, a couple things, man. First of all, I hear you saying OG. Like, then by the way, Dom would be an OG. There ain't no doubt about it. He is. But in my world, I had a guy say to me today, he's like, well, so and so works with us. He's an OG. And I said, no, he's not an OG, dude. Like, that would be like, he's not an OG. He's not original. And he's a guy that stopped working. So he's a no G. Like he's a no G. Dom, you've continued to work and I really wanted the opportunity to talk with you tonight because I think this will be one of the best calls you've been on if you pay attention. Like some of you I can see are already not paying attention, so you've already lost before you got started. I ain't mad at you because some people got to lose. You wouldn't know who's winning if you weren't losing, okay? Now, some of you can tell you're focused and you're excited. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to be the best call that I've been on in a while is because what we did at the beginning of the company, it still works today. Matter of fact, one of the things I think we did a really good job of, it's like the first generation earns it, the second generation enjoys it, and the third destroys it. We are the first generation. Like we worked our asses off and we had 99% less structure, training, boot camps than y'all have. And partly by accident, we created an environment where you're like, dude, tell me what to do next. 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 Dom, all seriousness, and because I don't say this to be funny. I want people to understand. And by the way, everything we talk about is we want to bet, we want to help you do better. Like Riyadh did $101,000 this month. Can anybody on the team do that? Now, the answer is yes. There isn't a person on here that couldn't do it. So that's the hard that one hurts, Riyadh, because the people that are doing 11 or 8 or 7 are like, no, I can't do it because I'm not as good as Riyadh. No, you're choosing not to. We're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to ask Dom a lot of questions so he can give you some answers. Dom, when you got brought in the business, you were how old?
23.
23. When I called you and introduced you to the business because a buddy of yours got started, how was what did I say about the business we were going to get into? How were you recruited?
Well, I was playing baseball at North Carolina State. Our center fielder got recruited in. He was just looking for something to do. And you gave me a call the next day after you met him face to face. And that conversation was really about where I was in life. What did I do? How was I in baseball? And what are you going to do after that? I had no answer. You know what I mean? Are you coachable? Are you open? Yep. What do you got? Well, you got these insurance companies. They got leads of people who fill out forms. Your job is to not screw it up. I can teach you how to not screw it up. And that was pretty much it. You know what I mean? On the tenets of what we were going to be doing.
Your first training, first sale. Because I want you guys, this is important because I love how much y'all want to help each other. But there's a lot of magic in going like, it's funny because somebody said to me, "You like to fight?" I said, "I wish, yes, I do. Yes, sorry, I do. Yes." And I'm going to tell you that I didn't learn to fight by anybody telling me what to do. The first time that my man Paul hit me in the face, and didn't even know we were going to fight, and he drilled me in the mouth, I was like, damn, that hurts, and I'm bleeding. Like, now it's time. I learned by going out there and doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like your first sales training, Dominique, in this business, walk us through what that consisted of on a serious
First
note.
sales
No,
training.
no.
Dude, well, this is how you taught me the phone script. How about that? He was like, "What's the phone script?" He says, "Call them up and tell them you're coming over to the house." I said, "What do I say when they say this?" He goes, "Did they say that?" I said, "No." He goes, "Well, come to me when they say something like that." That was it. It wasn't a whole bunch of extra. There was no boot camp. We didn't do any ride-alongs. There was no, "Hey, here's this PDF and read this." It was call them up and tell them you're coming over to the house.
You have to understand that the more complicated you make something sound, and the more you tell me I need to do this and this and this and this, the more you're telling me I probably can't do it, and it's really hard. I was talking to a group today, and they have all these requirements. And the guy said, he come into my office. I like him. He's a nice guy. He says, "What do you think about all that?" I said, "I would have quit." And then I said, "How much does your average producer do? Let's talk numbers." And he says, "Oh," gives me the amount of agents and the amount of volume. So I divide it, Riyadh, and I calculate the average producer is doing about $7,000 a month. And I said, "You do understand that if I join you and I have leads, like I love all of y'all, but you're on the phone calling people that filled something out. And you're like, but you got to do it this way." No, you just got to go to work. Matter of fact, some of the people I've seen do really, really well lately that work with us, I don't think they were like the best students. I got to be honest with you. I don't think we have some of you are really good students, but you just taking a long time to graduate. But you know the material. You ain't going to be in the fight, but you know a lot about the fight from over here. That's always like when people tell me what to do, they're not doing. I'm like, dude, you're not in the fight. Dom, when you started, had you ever sold anything?
No.
Did you think you'd be good at sales?
I didn't have any reason that I wouldn't think I'd be good. I didn't know.
Did you think I believed in you?
Yes,
Why?
that's a great question. You did what you said you were going to do. I think day one, did I trust you? Absolutely not. Okay. But we built a relationship. You spoke to my mom. You asked me about my family. You were engaged. You were willing to tell me things that I knew if you didn't care about me, you wouldn't say.
Explain that.
From family. You know what I mean? When I was young, I was 23 years old, and I had a guy I was calling dad who was 7 years older than me. And Sean was like, "Dude, that's not your dad. Like, that's the guy your mom's dating." Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't saying that like I'm your dad. He was just saying like, "Hey, dude, you got to define dad different." Do you know what I mean? You got to define that differently. And I could have been offended by that. I could have said, "I didn't have no problem with the guy." Makes sense? The dude, but it was he saw something in my future that didn't involve those type of people around me.
I think also if you expect a lot out of somebody, it's weird what they'll do. So, and please, everybody understand, I'm trying to help everybody. Dom, did you think that I owed you anything when you started?
Nothing.
Did you think that I needed to like buy you leads forever or talk to you 1,700 times a day?
Nope.
No. What did you think my obligation was to you?
Show me how to work.
Think about, I'm sorry, guys, but like say it again, Dom.
You showed me how to go to work.
How'd I show you?
Getting up every day and doing it. And every day being the first one out there. I mean, we used to share this little Voxer. Remember Voxer?
Yeah,
The
bro.
little,
I
the,
remember
little, the
Vox.
walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we used to
Good
have this
and bad.
walkie-talkie, dude, and like it was like this. It was so real that like if you wanted to be the first person to hear that damn chirp go off, like it was. But he started it like, dude's making sales at 7 a.m., 7:30. We're like, damn, like shit, I ain't even up yet. Do you know what I mean? But it's just having that type of leadership of, dude, I'm gonna do it, and being the last one there too, scrubbing apps. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have you had staff, but dude, you weren't just, you were making it happen. You were doing all the stuff that we were doing.
So I want to give you some background, then I want to let you rip a little bit, but I want to give you all some
Yeah.
background on Dominique so you understand what's happening. Dominique's been with Family First Life since the day it started. Dominique's a guy that Hall of Fame producer. Every year that dude's in the field full time, he's Hall of Fame producer. That ain't no problem. He's a guy that built a business and sold his business. Like sold his business. Like, hey man, they're gonna give you money, they're gonna give you stock, made quite a bit of money. Then a guy that's like, hey man, I love this business, but I really love to sell. And I know I sold, but can I go back in the field and like make a lot of money for my family and still be involved and be a partner, but sell? And I'm like, wow, what a novel concept. You want to work with everybody. You still want to work hard and you want to go out and make even more money for you and your family doing the work that we do here. Oh shit, blue collar leadership, somebody working. Wow. And I'm not, please don't take this the wrong way, but I said it again to a guy today and he looked at me like I had six heads. I'm like, dude, you're doing 340 grand a month. Why are you not in the field? Walk me through why you're not in the field. What are you doing all day long for the love of God and everything holy in the world? So that's who Dominique Rodgers is. He's a guy that came in right away. He had people doubting him. He was young. You know what? I told him not to trust him when he met me. He didn't know me. Let me earn your trust. You guys have phenomenal leadership. Sometimes I'd caution to say, maybe it's too good. Maybe it's too good. Maybe they're so good and so good to you that you're like, what can you give me next? Well, guess what, fool? What will you get yourself next? What will you do in 2026 for you and your family? As opposed to wait for to see what you're going to get next. One of the best things and Andrew Taylor talked about in the call, the dude he heard it from stole it from me. So I'm just letting you know that I'm going to take credit for it because I did say it first. I'm not a big fan of that, but I don't like the guy who took it from me. He works at a different company. I'm not going to say his name, but I'm just telling you he stole it from me. And I bet we were saying this back, 10 years ago. People find that they're lost, they're found in this business, they get committed, they make some money, they have a lifestyle, then become entitled. And then eventually it becomes a legacy deal for them. Right now, for Dominique Rodgers and his kids and his wife and his family, this is about legacy. So, Dom, if you don't mind, I want you to take 10 minutes,
Yeah.
give these guys the best, because be clear, Dom, you saw the 101 if you're on, you saw the 40, you saw the 60. I think Digna's, if I'm not wrong, still up there, killing it, doing her deal. There were two people with the same name. So I was at Victoria. I was like, she's like, yeah, two of them just different last name. Diana, I believe. I don't want to get it wrong. Jenna was in there. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but there's some people killing it, right? Riyadh knocking out 101,000. But Dom, there's those people that are killing it, trying to get people to sell more because that's part of their job.
Yeah.
And then there's folks on here right now who are like, hey, you know what? I ain't never sold 30 grand a month. I work here, but I've never sold 30 grand a month and I want to know how to sell it. So, Dom, I'd love you to take 10 minutes and walk everybody through the best 10 minutes of sales training you can get. If you're not selling 30, 40 grand a month, please intently be like, let me figure this thing out. If you are selling quite a bit, you can always learn more, but I want you to take what is he saying that I should be saying to my people? Because the one thing I know is I suck at a lot of stuff. I learned recently I can't ice skate. I fall on my face. I promise you. Who was that? Can you mute that person? Thank you. Mercedes, you are not paying attention, but I'm not calling you out. Anyway, I learned I can't ice skate. I learned I get in the skates and fall on my face. And Andrew, don't you laugh because you do the same shit. Okay. So, but I'm just saying, like, that's okay, Mercedes. Kids are cool. Thank you for that. That's accountability. I wish more people did that. They're like, we was making noise. It was me and my kids. My bad. Instead of going like, that wasn't me. So, Dom, I want you to please listen to him. For your agents, and I promise you, You have to understand that at the end of the day, this guy has been around. He got it, and he's like, we were doing this where it was in home. The leads were so expensive you'd throw up in your own mouth. Your commission, I love when people are like, my dude, I start at 30, like 8% in final expense, 55 in mortgage. Like, bro, easy. The fees we had, but Dominique is somebody that he took everything in over all those years and he can regurgitate it. If they were like, hey, Sean, you can't be there, but we need somebody to mimic you, talk like you. We don't look exactly the same, so he wouldn't pull that off. But if he was like literally like, you need somebody to talk, we want to think Sean Mike's talking, I'd be like, Dominique Rodgers. So, Dom, give us your 10 minutes, best sales training for everybody. And again, please pay attention because either you need it, your agents need it, or both. Let him challenge you. Listen to him. It's all yours, Dom.
Before I get into the sales training, Sean, I just want to say I gotta say thank you. And I know we speak, man, and I just I look at my kids, dude. I look at just what we have. Like I heard saw this saying that said, I didn't come this far just to come this far. And that's where I am right now, bro. I didn't come this far just to come this far. We got so much further to go, and I'm so happy to be doing it with you. I'm so happy that through all the ups and the they call it downs, but at the end of the day, I was talking to Andrew Taylor. He says, "Bro, there ain't no bad days. It's just business."
Mm-hmm.
So what you talking about? There ain't no ups and downs. It's ups and business. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you've helped me through that, and what we're showing my kids, and it's just I can't. There's no repay, dude. Other than, dude, we're gonna go out there and pay it forward. And I don't know where I would be without some of these things happening in my life. Do you know what I mean? Everything up until before I met you, the day before I met you was probably the wildest day of my life.
I know.
The wild, just for how things work. It's just like you can't tell me God ain't real, and God is getting realer and realer and realer for me the older I get. That's just what it is. And so just know, man, I got you. I know you got me and this team for the next 10 minutes. We about to rock the fuck out. Excuse
I
me.
love you, bro.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
So, all right. This deal, all right, from day one has always been about your attitude and your activity. All right. If there was anything that we talked about was what are you thinking and what work are you doing? All right. And we used to have this call, right? Like we got calls, you go on YouTube and all this type of stuff, but there was one training that you had to record, right? Or you had to pay and then they'd send you DVDs. It was like, screw that, bro. I'm gonna just record this thing. So I'd record it and play it back. And during this training, Sean talked about getting in front of a mirror, getting in front of a mirror and talking to yourself. And I'm going to start here because I think a lot of us, we're talking about what leads, what script, what all this. No, like, what are you telling you? I remember I used to sit in front of that mirror. Shoot, 1 minute felt like an hour, okay? 2 minutes felt like forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not just, you have to look yourself in the eye. Look yourself in the eye and tell yourself, Mary would never fill this form out if she didn't want this. Why would she give me her height and weight, date of birth if she didn't want insurance? Why would, like, there's no way somebody would actually fill this thing out, walk down to their mailbox, there's no way somebody would go through 16 steps on the internet when everybody's scared of everything and fill this out, give me the right phone number, the right email address, the right address, and then say something stupid when I call them. There is no way that would happen. If you're not having those intense conversations with yourself, you're flipping a five-sided coin when you start the business. And you'd be like, that's weird. I know. And I remember on the call, he said, you may think this is weird, but this has got me paid. And I remember I'd ask people at the time, are you doing the mirror thing? They'd be like, nope. I'd be like, damn, you stupid. Like, why not? He just said to do it. I know, but it's uncomfortable. So was making 10 grand a week, bro. You been there before? Nope, I ain't never been there. Sweet. So how about we just start doing some? So one thing I'll say is when you're hearing training, be open to actually doing it. Don't just say, "Oh, that works for him," or "Oh, that's funny," or nothing that's said tonight is meant to make you laugh. If you laugh, cool, it's real. You know what I mean? When I tell people don't fill this form out because I pay for this and my kids got to eat, so every time you fill this thing out, I got to pay for it. If you fill it out again, it has your address on it. I know where you live. I'm not joking. You'd be like, "Are you really going?" No, dude, but it's not. I'm not. It's not a game. So talk to yourself about what you expect out of this business, why the clients fill out the forms, and how there's no mistakes. I think at the beginning, I was kind of like Casper filled it out, to be honest with you. It wasn't real that a real person did it. But when you call them up and you believe that they did it, you'd be surprised what script you don't need. Be like, I need a script. No, you don't. If you believe they filled it out, you don't need a script. They say I didn't do it. Great. I forgot what I had for dinner. I forgot what I had for breakfast this morning. It's only 8. I just ate like 30 minutes ago. But anyways, tomorrow at 6, you'll be there. Like it because I believe so much. So let's start there with belief. All right. Now, next thing, that's going to help with your attitude, right? You want to get your mind right. Now, your activity. I don't have, no, there's not a schedule that I was ever taught like, hey, run these days or this is better. I never heard that starting off. It was, you're alive. Today's the best day to go to work. Your best day to go to work. All right. So when I started, though, I didn't know any better, right? So I just went like, oh, well, I'm gonna work Monday through Friday. I hear them working on Saturday. This is one of the things I didn't listen to right off the rip. Just I did it. Was work the weekends. Right. I'd kind of fake work on a Saturday and then not work on a Sunday. And then Sean was like, do you why don't you work on Sunday? I go, I live in the Bible Belt. I was in North Carolina. I live in the Bible Belt, man. You can't meet with people on Sunday here. He goes, huh. So people only believe in God in North Carolina? Like people don't go to church anywhere else? I go, touche. He goes, Dom, you don't want to go to work on Sundays. So immediately when they say they got church, you just go to Monday. When I say they have church, I go, great. What time are you done with church? 11. I'll be there at 11:30. You go to church in the morning? No, I don't. Neither do I. Now you're at 8 o'clock. You go to church in the morning? Yeah, so do I. I get done at 11. What about you? When that changed, I was like, oh my God, I'm controlling the schedule. My thoughts are dictating what's on my schedule. So I had to recalibrate that. All right. People do want to meet with you. It's not too early. It's not too late. We were calling people at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. to schedule appointments. I remember there was a lady, Sean called, it was before an event. She calls, he picks up. Hello? Why are you calling me so early? She goes, well, it sounds like you're in the car. She goes, yeah, I am. I'm driving. He goes, well, it seems like a great time to call you. All right. I just want to know why you were calling so early. Book the appointment. Like she wasn't up. She just wanted, it was a genuine question. Why are you calling so early? You filled out a form about you dying. So I just wanted to get you before you die. Make sense? So the activity that you have, the schedule that you have of I need these days off or I need to reset. I think I think your bank account will tell you when you can take a day off or whatever that means. I think if you're in a position that you were like, this sale is going to make or break my family, I need this sale, you shouldn't even be thinking about a day off. Like ever. You're like, well, Sunday's my family day. Well, I'm not saying you can't have family day. Does it have to be all day? Does it have to be all day? Because now with the systems that we have and the licenses that everybody has, now with activity, you're not strapped between 9 and 5. If you're on the East Coast, you could be selling in Hawaii. If you're on the West Coast, you could be selling on the East Coast. Now it's about, are you willing to wake up and stay up? Are you dialing at 5 a.m. if you're on the West Coast? Or do you start at 9? What's the point of living on the West Coast doing telesales if you're not starting at 5 a.m.? You're like, that's crazy. I'm like, I don't know. Like, let's stack the days so that you can get those days off. All right. So attitude and activity, though, those two things there. Now, as it pertains to getting people on the phone, you got to meet people where they are. All right. You got to meet people where they are. All right. Like you can't be the same on every call. I hear people and I'm like, damn, you sound the same on every call. I'm like, yeah, you should. My mom owned a salon growing up, a multicultural salon. My mom did white ladies' hair, she did braids, she did everything. I knew who the client was on the phone when my mom was on the phone. I was like, oh, that's Karen, the white lady. Okay. Oh, that's Pam, her black lady, her client from up the street. Oh, that's Zach's mom. I know that. Yep, yep, yep. Like she had a different voice for everybody she was talking to. Now, how I learned that, I heard it from her. I learned it from Sean when I heard him. I was like, God, he's a chameleon. Everybody you talk to, you kind of mirror them where they are, right? Practice that. Practice that. Have people around you give you different tones. Be angry, be excited, be all those things, and meet them where they are. That's going to help you out a lot because that's the first thing that's what they hear. All right. And then as you're going through this one call close, right? And this is, I'm going to give you a tip on just this one call close is you gotta know that you do have one shot. It was like when I was in the home face to face, I didn't like, there was never a time where I was like, dude, I went back to their house and closed them. We had a zero tolerance. On the phone, you got to know they're never going to pick up the phone again. I had a lady today. We're getting into it or whatnot. She goes, "Oh, well, I want to talk to my niece and who's an attorney, and I want to talk to my daughter or something like that." I was like, "Great." Remember at the beginning of the phone call, I asked you, "Did you anybody else help you make these decisions?" She said, "No." Cool. So make sure you're doing that early, right? But when you get to this point, let them know that what you're doing, okay, is for them, right? Like, I think the more you are like, I don't really care what you do, right? And this is the trick. I used to ask Sean, like, dude, how you sell so much? He goes, bro, you gotta sell like you don't need it. You sell like you need it. So you don't say things that are gonna allow to get people to move. So you play it safe. When you're in a position that you really are doing it for them, she goes, I don't want to really give out I got to talk to my niece. And I said, ma'am, with all due respect, you're 81. And if you call them up and say you called some guy and try to do this, they're going to tell you, dude, you don't need the insurance at all. You're doing this for them. And if you are going to talk to them about this, you need to do an application, get approved, and then go to them with a contract. All right. If you're not serious about doing any of that and you're just placating me right now to try to make me feel good, be clear. I'm good. You're 81, no insurance. You're going to be in a much worse spot than I. My phone's ringing all day long. And no disrespect to you, but just know if we move forward, it's because you believe in this, not because you're doing it because I'm trying to push you. Because there's zero push. But at 81, if I don't push you now, we're never going to speak again. She goes, you know what? Let's do it. That makes sense. And I said, I'm not the only person you've talked to about this insurance, right? He goes, no. I mean, you probably said the same thing to like four other people, right? She goes, yep. I go, why'd you do it with me then? She goes, because you were very straight up with me about it. It seemed like you really didn't care if I did it or not. And I was like, damn, this is what Sean was talking about. This was the twilight zone. I like you want to get in the zone, right? Like you want to be in sales and be like, dude, I can sell everybody. That's not the point. I'm not trying to sell everybody. What we're trying to do is let everybody know that I'm the best to help you. I'm the best to help you. Just like we're in the mirror talking, why would she fill this form out and not fill this out? Of course she needs the help. I'm the best to do this. This form is on my desk today. And have that same approach when you're talking to clients. Don't let them push you around and don't push them around. This isn't a fight. It's not. It's purely, I have a license to help you. Let me explain to you. Tell clients how good you are. I think that's so odd that sometimes people are on the phone with people and they just kind of let like, well, why should I trust? Because I'm the best agent you're ever going to speak with. That's why. Who's ever going to be this honest with you and be this straight with you? Makes sense? I am. There's my license. There's everything you need right there. If that's not enough for you, ma'am, I'm sorry. I don't really have a, I don't have this. I don't have all that. What I have is me. And I think everybody here, each one of these squares, you got you. You know, you got your why you're doing this. Let them know you are a badass. You are the person that's supposed to help them. And if they don't receive your help, you want to be able to hang up that phone. And this is the last thing I'll say. You want to hang up that phone and say, you know what? If they die tonight, it is what it is. And some might heard that and go, oh, that's harsh. But those of you who are selling 40, 50, 60, 70 grand a month, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You gave it everything you got. And they said, no, all good, man. I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up before you hang up. Make sense? Like I hang up on my no closes before they hang up. It was like back in the day, we used to have a no close. I used to be like, dude, I'm gonna just leave the door open. Just walk out, leave the door open. It's snowing. Just let it all in. Like, who cares? But do you live in a gray area or is it black and white? And sales for me was always black or white. Either you sold it or you didn't. There was no, well, maybe later, none of that. And I think when you live in that maybe later, your responses are that way. But if you live black and white, your responses are that way and people move or they get out of your way. Does that make sense? And you don't waste a lot of mental energy and things like that trying to, chase some things around. So I'm sorry, I don't know if that was under or over 10 minutes, but
I don't give a shit if it was 17.
Right.
That was unbelievable. You can go as long as you want. I want to say something though that's going through your minds right now, and I need you to hear me on this. The where we lose is if you're listening to Dominique and going, man, I wish I could do that. I don't know how he does that. Like the minute you start lying to yourself, that's lack of accountability. We like there isn't anything that Dominique said you can't do. But there are a lot of things Dominique does that you may choose not to do. You should be honest with yourself. If you're going to get on the phone and let them control you, you should just be honest about it. If you're going to get on the phone and let them, and I love y'all, but I sold life insurance full time every freaking week for 6.5 years. I go out once. That's it. To Dom's point, can I come back? No, I ain't no punk. Call one of them other agents. You know how many future draft dates I had? Hold on a minute. Let me calculate them. 0. Well, for you paying now. Like you're an adult, I'm an adult. I ain't no punk. I don't get pushed around. It's not about being big and bad. It's just about standing up for you and understand the dynamic and the relationship. And also some of you have to understand you're playing into whatever you believe in life. My faith is deep. I ain't going to apologize for it. And the enemy's real. Shame is what the enemy uses. What you can't do is shame. I'm not good. I can't stay focused. I get depressed. I'm not comfortable. I don't take control. And that's all complete bullshit. Those are lies you're telling yourself. So, what Dominic didn't tell you, and I didn't ask him to, we used to have our leaderboards. We'd read the top 10. Then we had the 0 board.
Yeah.
And we read every single name of every person that wrote 0 apps that week. And I started off the same way every time. Here are all the people in our organization that are selfish, don't give a shit about anybody else, could care less if people die with no life insurance. Be careful when you find these people, heed the warning, stay away. And I'd read their names. And some would quit, which is fine. Some would get better. And I never did it to do anything other than to be honest. When you talk about family time, I always love when people don't make, and I'm being crazy sarcastic, don't make money for their family and then use whether it's kids, mother, father, uncle, aunt, Grammy, grandpa, you use them as an excuse. You don't provide for yourself or them, and it's their fault. I just need to get more family time to be a good dad. I go, well, good. Maybe their next dad will provide for them financially. I mean, you don't. Like, you don't. Maybe the next one will. Now, I learned over the course of all the years that I had to temper what I said a little bit, even though I don't necessarily like it. But I have to. I run the entire company, Bryce. So I have to temper some of the stuff I say. That's why I beat the insurance companies up so bad, the carriers, because I don't have to temper it with them and it makes me feel good. And I take out what I want to say to a lot of y'all on them. And that's not fair, but it's what I do. I've never shared those things to hurt. I only want to help. And when you're not doing well, it should hurt because you want to get better. It should hurt. It should be painful if you let it be painful, but there isn't anything Dominique Rodgers said that you can't do. And you're like, man, it's unbelievable. You're so great. Do this. And dude, Dom is great because he's choosing to be great. When will you choose to be great? When? When will be your time, Amber, Heather, William, Jacob? When will and it's rhetorical because I don't need you all to answer because you'll be like, it's my time now. No, when will you do those things that hurt and suck to have the result? How many days should I be in the field, Sean? Do you have any money? No, 7. That's pretty good. Are you able to pay all your bills easily and have some money to put away? No, 7. Are you behind on any bills? Yeah, 7. I have kids and I had to 7. I'm just 7. But that's not an answer we want to hear. I remember like yesterday, Dom, when you wouldn't work weekends.
Yeah.
I remember it. And I was always like, okay. But I just kept working. I'm like, you got no money, and I'm working the weekends, and I got money, and you got no money. But all you can do is keep role modeling. Dom, I want to talk about this in our last 10 minutes. We're coming into a crucial time because it's the beginning of the year. We have annual convention. When you worked with me, what did you believe would happen if you didn't go to annual convention?
I believed.
You
Believe.
went, but what
Yeah,
did you
believing.
think?
No, I felt like I knew, right? But I knew that if I didn't go to convention, I wouldn't get the support that I knew I needed.
I don't run this organization. Believe me, Marissa's in charge. Hell, she's in charge of a lot more than you think she's. She is in charge. Believe me. Okay. I can tell you that if Natalie, Heather, William, and Jacob are on my team, and we go to convention, except Natalie goes, and William goes, and Heather, but no Jacob. And then we get back from convention. Jacob's like, hey, Sean, what do I do when they have diabetes and this and that? First of all, I'd be like, dude, I don't answer questions. The insurance carriers answer for you. But let's say you ask me another question about recruiting or something. I'd be like, hey, Jacob, we went over that at annual convention. And he would be like, no, I couldn't make it. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't. And that's your language. Don't do that. Like when I've screwed up my life for not being accountable, it was my fault. And I screwed up. It was my fault. And until you start owning your shit, it is just shit. I go, no, Jacob, you chose not to go. You could go. You didn't want to go because you had 3 reasons not to go. And I'm not mad at you. But don't damn call me up like I'm some punk. Don't ever do that and go, hey, Sean, help me after I wouldn't go and you did. He goes, yeah, but I need some help. I go, yeah, I know. Me too. I need more accountable people. Unlike you. No, Jacob, I know you're going, bro. I'm just using a name, bro. I'm just using a name, baby. I know you're going. So, but understanding that that's something that there's a lot of things in this business, trainings. Now, we're not saying trainings are, of course, trainings are important, but you can't be paralyzed by analyzing every ounce of training before you call. And I would bet my damn life that if you go, here's 100 leads I called and couldn't make sales, I will bet my life that I can make an asshole to sales off those leads. Yeah. And if you've seen me do it, you know. If you've not seen me do it, and listen, I wish I could sell life insurance full time. Be a lot more fun than running the company, to be very honest with you. Dom, walk us through in the last, give me 5 minutes of what your game plan should be as a producer, as a manager going into annual convention.
All right.
What's the game plan? What's
Yeah.
your mission? What, because you understand, guys, this is one of the most successful people that's been in the insurance business, and he's still out there selling and doing his thing. High level success, sales, recruiting, but as a guy that's always, and that's the baseball in him, bro, I'm going to practice, man. We got practice, I'm going to practice. You call me, bro, I'm going to practice, I'm in. Um, what's the game plan for annual convention, and how do you talk to people and get all your folks there?
All right. So to go into convention is it is everything. All right. And I know you probably heard people say this and I'll reiterate it, but you will go in there expecting something and get something totally different out. And if this is your first time going to an event, I just say be so open that it's scary. Be so open that it's scary. Get there early. Sit down. I mean, truly pay attention because I don't know when that funny, fuzzy, warm feeling's gonna go over your body of I can do this, but it will. But if you're not locked in, you're not there, you're talking to other people. I didn't go there to socialize. Like, I didn't have friends. Like, it wasn't like I'm going to the event so I can meet my buddy from Zoom. Like, I didn't care about any of that at all. All right. I went to the event purely to get a feeling of what the next year is about to be like. Because you're not going to come out of there going, dude, I learned this script. I learned this thing about, dude, you're going to forget that. You have your notes and stuff. But I promise you, somebody from that stage is going to shake you to the core. They're going to shake you. They're going to check you inadvertently or directly. And you will make a decision during those 3 days of what you are about to do. And I promise you, that decision won't be made on a YouTube video. That decision won't be made on this Zoom right now. You'd be like, that was great. That decision's not made right now. It's percolating, but it will pop at convention. And if you want a guaranteed pop, you're going to be there. If you want to roll the dice and see what happens and be shaky going into next year, that's on you. And how do you get your people there? If you've been before, you've got to tell them your story. You have a story. Didn't you're here because of convention. They know your story. This is why I went. This is what, man, I almost didn't go to the damn first convention and it was in the city that I lived in. So I'm not speaking to you from like my first convention. I was all in. I was like, hell no. Sean was like, stay at the hotel. I was like, for what, bruh? That's more money. I stay right up the street. You'd be like, that's where my thought process. So you better be like, dude, you got it all figured out. No, dude, I was a train wreck. And if I didn't go to that first convention, if that convention would have been in Charlotte, North Carolina, Sean, I wouldn't have been there. God made, I promise you, like God made that happen to where it was in Raleigh. I was just, dude, I was getting an insurance license at that point in time just so my mom would get off my back. She was like, you need to get a job. I was like, maybe I just get this insurance things and make it, most people fail. So I'll buy some time. And then I went to the event. And I remember last day of the event, I'll never forget this. Sean's walking out of the event, locked in, right? I go, hey, Sean. Hey, looks like this train is moving. I want to hop on. He goes, it's moving with or without you, bro. And walked off. I'll never in my life forget that. Because what the wrong thing would have been at that point in time would have been for him to sit there, celebrate, tell me how fucking great it's about to be, blah, 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 blah. No, he left it to where it was like, well, show me, mother effer. And kept it pushing. So there's two things to learn from that as you're leading people. Just show them the way. You don't have to celebrate with them. There was nothing to celebrate with me about. I was excited at convention. Yeah, you and everybody else. Show me. And I thank you for that, bro. Because that's what I needed at that time in my life. I needed to be challenged. I needed somebody to believe in me, but not stroke my damn ego. Does that make sense? It was big enough. You had to simmer it down. And I love it. And I love you for it. So
I love you, and I'll end with this and hand it back to Marissa. First of all, Dom, thank you. That was unfreaking believable. If you care about people, you care enough to tell them the truth. And I'm gonna leave you with this because I've heard it a lot lately from people. What people do need the most is somebody to believe in them. You don't show somebody you believe in them by placating them. You don't show somebody you believe in them by being weak. You don't. I could have easily jumped up and down with you and celebrated. It was like, bro, I'm going good. I'm going either way, dude. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm going either way. I hope all of you are at annual convention. This is an amazing team with an amazing group of people. I love the people here, and I think there's so much untapped potential. Don't make a bad decision and choose what's comfortable. Business is pretty simple. Typically, what's harder and uncomfortable is the best for you. So choose that path. I tend to choose it a lot, and it makes life a hell of a lot better. So, Marissa, I'll turn it back over to you. I appreciate letting me get my man Dom on. And Dom, when I heard you were on, there's no way I was missing this thing. I had to get my way into guest hosting. So I appreciate y'all.
I
Thanks,
love you,
Marissa.
man.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dom. I love you too, Dom. You the man, bro.
Thank you both so much. And I'm not even gonna say anything after that. I've never had a guest host and a guest trainer, but I've loved it and I think it was so valuable. The team's fired up and it could not be by two better people and two people that care about us more. So I'm just excited to see everybody at annual convention. I'm excited for 2026. I'm excited for the mentors that we have in Dom and Sean, and I'm just pumped up. So thanks to everybody. Let's get back on the phones. Dom, thanks for your time. Sean, thanks for your time. And let's get back on the phones and crush it until annual convention. I can't wait to see you all there. Bye, guys.